প্রাণ ভরিয়ে তৃষা হরিয়ে মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ তব ভুবনে তব ভবনে মোরে আরো 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 দাও স্থান মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ প্রাণ ভরিয়ে তৃষা হরিয়ে মোরে আরো 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 দাও প্রাণ। Pour your light, yet more light in my eyes, O Lord. Offer me vitality and quench my desire. In your world and under your shelter. So these are some words from this very famous song of our own bard, the bard of Bengal, the bard of India. Who else but Rabindranath Tagore? Yes, you guessed it right from the thumbnail. Today's video is dedicated to Rabindranath Tagore. Hey everybody, I welcome all of you back to my channel, that is English with Nilanjana ma'am, and I would like to start today's video with a simple question, and that is, have you ever come across a person who has influenced your life in some way that you have learned something very nice or very valuable from that person, and you like cherish those those memories forever, for a long time to come? So if yes, then yes, it's very good. And so this is what I would like to tell you today, that Rabindranath Tagore wrote about this young man from Sweden, and yes, I'll tell you his name, and his name is Hammergren, Carl Hammergren. So this young student, a young Swede, he came from Sweden, all the way from Sweden he came to Calcutta. Now the question is, why did he come, and what was his mission, or did he have any purpose? So why did he come, and why was Tagore so much impressed by this young person? So today's video is based on that. So stay tuned and keep watching. Friends, in the essay called East and West, which got published in his collection of work called Creative Unity in 1921, Rabindranath Tagore wrote about this man called Carl Hammergren, and he describes this young man as an Indian sadhu. So why did this young man called Hammergren come to India? And so yes, I'm going to tell you about it very soon, but before that I'll just read a few lines from this essay. Now you get to see Rabindranath's words and his style of writing, which is so beautiful. We all have a realm, a private paradise in our mind, where dwell deathless memories of persons who brought some divine light in our life's experience, who may not be known to others, and whose names have no place in history, in the pages of history. Let me confess to you that this man lives as one of those immortals in the paradise of my individual life. So here he gives us this introduction. He talks about Carl Hammergren and how he influenced Tagore's life. So this man came from Sweden, and his name was Hammergren. So what was most remarkable in the event of his coming to us in Bengal was the fact that in his own country he had chanced to read some works of my great countryman Ram Mohan Roy, and felt an immense veneration for his genius and his character. So this was the reason. So did you guys understand it? Hammergren, when he was a student in his own country, in his own country of Sweden, over there by chance he came to read some work. He came to read about, he came to read some writings of the great Raja Ram Mohan Roy. We all know Raja Ram Mohan Roy, how great he was. He is the creator of modern Bengal. So Hammergren was in Sweden, a young student. He read about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. His mind and heart was filled with deep reverence, deep respect for this man Ram Mohan Roy, and he decided to come to Ram Mohan's Bengal to work for the poor. So that's really so impressive. That's really so interesting. Yes, we learn so much from this. So what did Hammergren do after he came to India? Let's find out. So when we read Tagore's work, when we read this essay, we find that that Hammergren was a young student and he did not even have the passage money to come to India at that point of time. So he collected funds, he got ready, but he was so moved. He was so moved by by Raja Ram Mohan's persona. He was so moved by this man's great work that in spite of racial differences, in spite of the time and space and all this, and in spite of the different the different countries, the different space, the different upbringing, in spite of all these factors, he managed his passage money. He came to India because he wanted to offer India his service. The reason was India had produced this great son, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So that's really, really so motivating, and we learn so much from this. Tagore writes, "When I was young, a stranger from Europe came to Bengal. He chose his lodging among the people of our country, shared with them their frugal diet," meaning Hammergren came to India, he stayed with the poor, shared their very simple food or diet, and even he found employment in the houses of the rich. He worked in the houses of the rich. He taught them French and earned some tuition money, some fees, and with that money he bought books and helped the poor students of Bengal. He even, he would walk. He refused to hire any conveyance. He was pitiless in his exaction from himself of his resources in money, time and strength. See, he did not work for the people of India with some hidden agenda. There was nothing hidden. He had only one mission: to serve the poor, to help the poor students, to get educated and everything. And yes, one very sweet mission he had, and that was to build up a library in memory of his, you can say his guru, or you can say his ideal person, and that was Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So he wanted to build this he wanted to build this beautiful library for Raja Ram Mohan Roy in his memory, so that poor students can go there, they can read, they can borrow books and everything. So that was a real sweet agenda. Yes, and till the last breath of his life, Hammergren worked for the poor, offered them and the students and the young people his generous service, and he did not work for money or for name or fame or for or for the sake of publicity. Not at all. It was only meant to serve mankind. That is really so encouraging and so beautiful. And finally, after so many years, eventually, when Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the Nobel Prize from Sweden, Tagore was delighted to see this wonderful or the strange coincidence. The coincidence was that he fell in love with Sweden because of this young Swedish fellow called Carl Hammergren. So he was so impressed by this person's selfless service towards the poor that he fell in love with Sweden. So we all know that Tagore loved countries like Sweden, he loved Germany, he loved Switzerland. Yes, he did not like England, definitely. He did not like the English at all, because they were our colonial masters. We all know that. So he writes, "The coincidence came to me with a great and delightful surprise when the Nobel Prize was offered to me from Sweden. As a recognition of individual merit, it was of great value to me. No doubt, but it was the acknowledgement of the East as a collaborator with the Western continents in contributing its riches to the common stock of civilization." And so that's the way he ends the beautiful essay. And the memories of Hammergren is really so beautiful. And so this part also, yes, I'd like to read out. "But what I prize most in this European youth, who left no record of his life behind him, is not the memory of any service of goodwill, but the precious gift of respect which he offered to a people who are fallen upon evil times, and whom it is so easy to ignore or to humiliate. For the first time in the modern days, this obscure individual from Sweden brought to our country the chivalrous courtesy of the West, a greeting of human fellowship." So it is as if Carl Hammergren stands for the West. He represented the West, for Tagore. So here, so Hammergren represents the entire West, like selfless sacrifice, and this chivalrous stand he took. He came all the way to India just because he fell in love with Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and he came here with no agenda, with no political motives, with no business motives, or not to spread Christianity, not to spread his religious loyalties or his beliefs, but he came only for the love of Ram Mohan and for the love of Ram Mohan's land, because India produced a person like Raja Ram Mohan, the great son of India, and Tagore, of course, such a great son of India. And we are all sons and daughters of India. So yes, we all love our country, and hats off to such a nice person like Carl Hammergren, from whom we learn so much. And thanks to Tagore for writing this wonderful essay, East and West. So with this, we come to the end of this video. I hope you will like this.